is that loss to take today after last year being in the same situation?
Yeah, I guess for me, I don't know the comparison of the scorelines at the moment, but last year really hurt. I guess this game, there were definitely bits and pieces. Like I remember being down by 2, so it came just close, but I guess it wasn't our day, and I'm reflecting on a massive season that we've been able to have. There's been girls who haven't necessarily played much ANZ netball, and here they're starting in a final, and so I'm just proud of the work. I have so much love and respect for the Mystics. They earned that. They took that with 2 hands, and so I think they thoroughly deserve that. So it's just we've come off just too short today.
I think everyone wants the fairy tale, but it can only happen to one team, and I'm a little bit over this colour. We want it to change, but I guess this colour is better than anywhere else in the competition. So I think that's definitely the silver lining that we'll take away from this, is that it has been one of the most closely contested ANZ premierships of its history. We are disappointed in what we put out there, but I know that the girls prepared really well. We prepared as well as we could. They were a better team on the night.
And I think that's the difference. We came out of last year like we thought we had ticked all our boxes, and there was stuff where we really got found out. I don't think it was as much like that this year, just some heads dropped. So instead of everyone falling off, just unfortunately a few too many people were falling off at once.
Yeah, and just little errors that haven't actually happened in other games were happening, and that's the pressure that the Mystics put on. It was very, very difficult to stop the ball going into Grace. That was very, very hard.
That second quarter was probably the quarter of the game.
Yeah.
At that point, at half-time, did you feel that you were really still in it?
Yeah, we have belief even if we're down by 9, we've still got a shot. So you can hear Mila pumping it. Come on, team, like, we've done this before, we've done this by heaps more. So it's not like belief isn't a thing that we lose quite easily in our group. It just was how the cards fell, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think we came out, we've had some really good third quarters, and they came out and we turned over the ball. It was just, every now and then the bounce wouldn't go our way, which was a little bit unlucky with some of the loose stuff. And then when we'd get some momentum, then a little error would creep in and it would put us back, because they'd score that so easily and then score their next centre pass. Yeah.
I guess looking at next season, I know you're probably still wrapping your head around that 60 minutes just there, but you're staying on for next year, and what are you sort of hoping to do from here?
Look, I think we've made some really huge progress this year, and I think that's why it feels different. I don't know how it feels. Well, I think that's why we're not as kind of hurt. Last year, I felt like we just were not even in that game, whereas this year, I think we tried to fight back. We tried to fight back, and we'd close, and then it'd open, then it'd close, and then it'd open again. So a lot to take away, a really good foundation for next year. I think teams find us really hard to beat. They find us hard to get the ball off. I think the next step for us is just looking at how can we create more turnovers for ourselves to score off, if I'm thinking technically. In terms of the program, I think it's been a really well-run program. We've had massive shifts mentally and physically. We've made huge gains. We want to put a shout out to our main man, Barry Jennings, for all the work he's put in. But yeah, I think it's, you always review, and there are definitely things that we need to have a look at, but I think there's not, like last year it was a bit of throw the baby out with the bathwater, let's start again, let's start new. This year it will be build. Yeah.
On a personal note, Maia, you're shooting, this was probably one of your best seasons that you've had. What was the difference for you?
A few different things. I think first and foremost, I feel really comfortable in my leadership. It's taken 3 seasons, but it's really normal to finally get where I am, and I've been really well supported by not just the other 3 people in our leadership group, but actually the whole team has really come to the ball, and I think that's a credit to what we've built. And like Sulu, sometimes we have arguments, and we actually are really good friends, and we don't argue too much, but I think that performance culture and those performance conversations have really come into this team more this year. got to the end of that last quarter, and I was just, it felt so long. I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to turn a bloody shooter. I've got nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. I don't think it's going to change the scoreboard. So you know what? If I'm one step in the circle, sorry, I'm going to give it a crack. I sort of wish I had that mentality earlier on, but I feel very secure in myself. I think that translates to my leadership and being on court. So I'm proud of my contribution to this team. I am every year, but for some reason something magical has come out of it, and it set me in a comfortable place. So I hope I get a really cool phone call on Wednesday wishing me all the best and saying that I'm on a plane. But, you know, I've at a space where even if it doesn't go my way, I feel like I've done everything I can to book myself a ticket. If it doesn't happen, that's all good. I'm just not right for that time, but I can be proud of the product that I've produced this year.
And I think she should be really proud. Yeah.
With the sort of strength of this season as a whole being so close, how would you say that reflects the state of netball in New Zealand at the moment and the Silverfern's chances at the World Cup?
I think it's competitive. Once you chuck in no World Cup trials, everyone seems to put their hand up. It also means people who traditionally might not have got a trial have a whole season to look at from selectors. So I think it's quite exciting to see. We've talked about how tight the competition was in terms of the top four. We didn't know who was going to get through the elimination final. So it's really nice to see a changing of the guard, I guess, in the Mystics camp and show that someone like Kara Stith is going to be someone for the future. And Sulu in particular has put that position somewhere better than what she found it.
Well, for yourself, Maia, I guess being the one that Sulu had to match up against in their final game, I mean, what was that like, the honour, I guess, matched up against Sulu in the game?
I feel privileged. The relationship that Sulu and I have is something that I can't describe. I'm pretty sure she has that relationship with everyone, but she makes me feel real special. There's a lot of love and respect. We had captain's call on Friday, and I ran away after I was done. She called me and she was like, I just want to say that I love you. No matter what happens on Sunday, I love you, and I want you to play the best you can be, and I will play the best that I can be. And I felt like that's what you saw tonight. Two really good friends. When the whistle blows, it's the frenemies, but as soon as it's over, the biggest embrace that you can ever get. So I feel as it's an honour, my privilege, to be a part of that last bit of her journey in domestic netball.
And I think that is a strength of, I think that's a strength of being in New Zealand and being a New Zealander, is that the respect that every single team has for each other has grown. There are definitely people that we don't get along with, and when you go out there, you're really dusting it up. But I definitely think the level of respect for each other out there as opposition has grown, and I think it's something to be really celebrated, and I think it's a lot to do with Knowles and the culture that she's created in the Silver Ferns. It's really hard to describe actually. It's a bit of a feel thing, but I feel like right across the country that's where it's at, and we haven't always been as respectful, I don't think, in this whole Auckland neighbourhood thing, but it's definitely something that we're proud of, and we hope the Mystics are proud of too.
Are you hopeful that Sulu does make the Silver Ferns team and is able to extend their career just a little bit longer?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see that this isn't the last we see of Sulu. If it was me, I'd love to make it. It's my last call, my choice. So if I was selected, I'd like to make sure that chance is I'm able to take it with two hands. But Sulu's a special person, and she knows that if she's not meant to be, it's just not her time right then. Of course, it's going to have a little mama. It's going to be a little bit sore. But I think what she in particular brings to the Silver Ferns leadership group is second to none, and it doesn't just impact New Zealand domestic netball, but it impacts the whole international game, in my opinion.